Hi, this is Carlos Diaz, Library Associate at St. John the Baptist Parish Library, and this is a book talk. Today's book talk is The World Doesn't Require You, Stories by Rion Amilcar Scott. Established by the leaders of the country's only successful slave revolt in the mid-19th century, Cross River still evokes the fierce rhythms of its founding. In lyrical prose and singular dialect, a saga beats forward that echoes the fables carried down for generations, like the screecher birds who swoop down for their periodic sacrifice and the water women who lure men to wet deaths. Among its residents, wildly spanning decades, perspectives, and species, are David Sherman, a struggling musician who just so happens to be God's last son, Tyrone, a ruthless PhD candidate whose dissertation about a childhood game ignites mayhem in the neighborhood, once segregated town of Port Yuga, and Jim, the all-too-obedient robot who serves his master. As the book builds to its finish with special topics in loneliness studies, a fully realized novella, two unhinged professors grapple with hugely different ambitions, and the reader comes to appreciate the intricacy of the world Scott has created, one where fantasy and reality are eternally at war. And that's it. What we have here is a collection of short stories, one of them being a novella by a great up-and-coming author. And I read this book like about 4 or 5 years ago, probably before the pandemic, and I'm just getting around to doing a review about it. After all, this is the month of May. It's a short story month, so I wanted to focus on some collections. And again, the difference between a collection and an anthology is that a collection is collected stories written by the same author, whereas an anthology is short stories collected by different authors. And this one was good. I liked it, and I do want to focus on the fantasy and reality element of it because it is exactly that. And magic realism is a subgenre of the literature genre that was created by the late great Gabriel Garcia Marquez, and you can see that Mr. Scott was influenced by Gabriel Garcia Marquez's work. A lot of the stories you're reading them, and while they're seeped in reality, all of a sudden something strange and odd happens that's completely out of left field. And although in the context of the story it's not odd for you, the reader, sometimes you're left scratching your head like, did a giant spider just walk across the room? So it's that type of magic realism that makes these stories quite unique. There is a lot of history seeped into them, which I think is cool, and you get to see the legacy of our ancestors through many years of struggle, strife, success. You get to see that the different perspectives throughout times. You get to see the different effects it has on different communities, and the title is very interesting. I like that because it connotes loneliness, alienation, and isolation, as if you're not needed or you're unnecessary. Obviously, that's not true, but that's what the underlying theme is of these stories. I definitely enjoyed them. I highly recommend you pick them out. The book's only about 300 pages, so if you have a long, weekend or holiday weekend coming up, you're more than likely to pick it up. The book is available for you to check out. We do have a print copy, and we also have a digital copy. As always, I get a chance to plug Libby, so you can put a request to hold on there, and you can check it out, and it's free with your library card. So if you're looking for a cool outside-of-the-box collection of short stories by an up-and-coming author, I highly recommend that you pick up The World Doesn't Require You by Rion Amilcar Scott. Thank you very much, and this is a book talk.